ladies and gentlemen, how is it going? And we are going on a little night ride. We're gonna be on the night train. I kind of feel like, one thing I've always wished I could do is be like a swooner. You know, like 1920s. 1920s-esque sort of Fallout-ish type tunes. So bad when you make comparisons to a video game instead of actually referring the actual music. But that's all I really know to call it by. I don't know why, that would just be fun. I could just really annoy people by singing like I was from 1920. It'd be a good time. Anyways, I've never actually recorded at night, so I don't know how this is going to turn out. There's not like actually a lot of lights in my neighborhood, especially where we're going to be going. It's kind of dark, but we'll see how it all pans out. It'll be fun either way. It's a nice cool night. We've had like some brutally, back off this guy, some brutally hot summers. A brutally hot summer, I should say. This is probably the first really hot summer we've had in a long time. And it's really just been the last like month straight, actually last 2 months now, has just been like kind of really non-stop high. I mean, I know it gets hotter other places, but that doesn't change the fact that it's hot here. I mean, it's been like anywhere from 88 to 92 for the last month straight. We're finally starting to see some cooler days. It's dropping down to like the 80s and 70s, and then right now it's probably in the low 70s. It's definitely pretty cool right now. There's a bit of a breeze. I can feel a slight chill, but it feels fantastic. And that kind of signifies fall, right? I love fall. Fall is my favorite season for a lot of reasons. Number one, fall is just awesome. Big Halloween guy. Always have been a big Halloween guy. And just something about it. It's like my favorite kind of, holiday season. I don't know what it is. I've always just dug it. This is what people do on Saturday night, though. I'm sorry, but this is why I don't drink. Why would I want to go and spend my Saturday night sitting at a bar? It's not for me. I could be out on my bike, I could be at home talking with my friends and playing video games in a non-crowded, non-obnoxious atmosphere. I don't care. And that's all I really wanted to do in today's video, was actually not talk about games for once. I don't know, just kind of talk about me, about things, about what's coming up. We probably will reference video games at one point. In fact, I'm going to do that right now, because the other part of what makes fall so great is, of course, video game season. This is the time of the year, as I've said before, when all the developers release all of their games at once and absolutely decimate, absolutely decimate your wallet. And that's exactly what's going to be happening. So I've made like a checklist, right, of games that I need to play because I want to cover on the channel, and games that are kind of going to end up taking a back seat. So I want to talk a little bit about that list, give you guys an idea of what you can expect coming this video game season. So first and foremost on the list, games that I am going to buy for sure. Fallout 4, that's a no-brainer. We've got Halo 5 Guardians, that's a no-brainer. Like, I am so ready to get back into competitive Halo. It's disgusting. Like, I'm even thinking, like, what if I put together a team, we play competitively, that could be super awesome. This is actually a really fun road. It's usually always dead. You just gotta be careful at night. Everything's a little bit more sketchy. Your awareness levels have to be raised. So those are two for sure's. Call of Duty, probably. I really do enjoy Call of Duty, and it's Treyarch Call of Duty, so it's really hard to pass that up. On the other side of the spectrum, we've got Battlefront. I definitely want to check that out. I'm probably going to snag it on PC, to be honest, because if it really ends up being terrible, I can make use of the Origins refund system. Because I'm just at that point, man. It's like, if the game isn't amazing, if this isn't this really great game and I don't feel like I've got my money's worth, then hell yeah, I'm going to refund it. I mean, that's just the way the cookie's going to crumble. If they can deliver a great product, then they've got me. And I've never seen a problem with things like refunds for refunds for games. I mean, make a good product. It's that simple. That's how it goes with everything else in life. Everybody else is kind of subject to that for the most part. So we'll see. I'm not ready to just deny it. I'm hoping they can take a lot of the feedback they're getting from people on some of the stuff, like the recently announced, sort of space, or not, like, fighter pilot thing going on, the X-Wing mode, and really make it a better game. But we'll see how they handle all of that. Other games on the list, there's just so many. Metal Gear Solid, I feel like I cannot pass up. I'm actually really excited for Mad Max, as you guys know. So this is like it's an onslaught, right? So there's a couple of games that are on my maybe list. And at the top of those games is Rainbow Six Siege and Need for Speed. I'm actually really excited about that new Need for Speed reboot. I wish we knew more. I want to know how in-depth the customization is, because to me this could be the return of Underground, and that's really exciting. On the other side of things, Siege looks really, really fun, but when compared to the other games that are coming out, it's like, you know, why waste our time playing this? As I talk about, you know, my friends, you know, why are we going to bother when we can play so much else? And then, of course, you have the expansion for Destiny. That's a no-brainer at this point. Taken King looks phenomenal. I'm really excited for it. So it's going to be a tough video game season to make all these decisions and choices. And I know there's games I've left out, smaller ones that I'm not thinking of right now that are going to be releasing that will probably end up in there. And, of course, that Xbox One Elite controller, I really actually want that thing. $150 controller, and for some reason that's a priority over some of these games for me. It just, I love that idea, and I don't know, I just want it. You know, that's just how life works. It works so you can have money, so you can buy things that you just want, and I just want that. So I'm pretty excited to get my hands on that controller. Well, I mean, that's really it, right? For video games, like, not too much else that I can think of right off the top of my head, but it's going to be a hard decision-making season for everybody. I know you guys are probably the same way, so if you want to let me know down in the comment section below what you've been kind of, you know, doing your checks and balances on, what games are you, like, iffy about, what games are for sure. Definitely let me know. And as I was saying about, you know, Halo, there's just this part of me that really has always been into the competitive scene. You know, I used to play tournament Gears of War back in the day. Myself, my brother, and a close friend, plus one internet friend, actually entered in quite a few junior cyber athletes competitions. And Halo for me was kind of the other end of that, right? Like, I was huge into Halo System Link. My brother and I took it very seriously. He's kind of fallen off the competitive bandwagon. He doesn't so much care for that type of stuff anymore. He doesn't enjoy it. He finds it just to be frustrating. But I love it, like the adrenaline of communication. When they announced the Trials of Osiris for Destiny and we finally played it, I mean, it was insane. Like, I love that. I love that, like, knife's edge, like, here's all the stress in the world, now go play. For some reason, I find enjoyment in that. I really genuinely do. I'm sick and twisted. I love it. I really do. Get over to the next lane. So it's like I've been trying to, you know, not a lot of people in Praxis own Xboxes. It's kind of the issue. I know a few of them have PlayStation 4s. It's like trying to think of wrangling some dudes up from Praxis, seeing if there's anybody who's really actually pumped for Halo to try and do a serious group to play like Arena, you know, on a weekly basis. I mean, that's just something I'd be really excited to do. So just my competitive juices are starting to flow again, and I think Halo 5 is going to be the game that really scratches that itch. I really like what they're doing with all those systems. Some really good stuff there. What I actually wanted to talk about was, right, a couple people actually messaged me. One person like comment, one person message, concerned about these videos. Like that I wasn't paying attention. It's proven that, you know, conversation is dangerous and you can't focus. I will not disagree that a conversation like with another person is a dangerous thing. I don't talk while I'm driving, like on a cell phone or anything like that. Hell, I don't even like to talk to people in the car when I'm driving. I really like to focus on driving. But that is a conversation that requires a lot of thought. Like, you're really communicating with another person. You have to consider what they're saying. I'm just talking. I'm just rolling black off the lap of my tongue, which is why these sound a lot less composed than my normal videos, because I recognize that I need to focus on the road. So therefore, I just let my brain go on automatic and I just spit shit out. Sometimes it comes across nice, sometimes it comes across awful. It's why I end up deleting a lot of these, but I'm definitely going to keep this one. I love trains. It's the one thing I haven't got to do yet. My mom grew up going on trains, and we've been trying to get up to get on a train to actually go up to, like, you know, sort of New Hampshire and Delaware and areas like that. Connecticut is where we're actually looking to go. So yeah, I mean, it's like I'm, you know, not really thinking and processing. I can actually focus very well. It's a subconscious thing for me at this point because I've been speaking for so long. You know, I've been doing this for like 3+ years, the speech part of it. And for me, it just flows. Like, I can really be focused and not worried about it. It's kind of like when you can have a conversation with a friend in a game like Call of Duty and then still go like 25-0. You kind of just muscle memory, everything just kind of flows, and the other team wasn't doing that well. So things just kind of came together for you and everything was all right. It's like somebody got pulled over down there. So I thank you for your concern, and I know people were saying there's no, you know, it would still be just as great. Now, I would completely lose the point of a motovlog if I just talked over video footage. I mean, that just would kill it for me. That really defeats the purpose. It's kind of about being out here and commentating on things and just everything feeling alive. And I dig that. We could drive by and make fun of the guy who got caught for speeding on Broadway, which is easily one of the best places to get caught for speeding if you're trying to get caught for speeding, which I'm assuming he was. And hopefully he's not drunk, because that would just be a double whammy. Sucks for him, though. I have no sympathy for drunk drivers, that's for damn sure. Oh, now he's leaving. That's got to be such like a weird thing to drive away from a cop, like if you actually got written for a ticket. I've never gotten a ticket. I mean, I've been pulled over because I had like a headlight out that I was able to fix, and I've never been pulled over on a motorcycle in my life. I don't drive like an idiot, so it's not really something that I ever have to worry about. People always say that cops love pulling over motorcyclists. Oh really? I've been driving a motorcycle for 4 years on the road and I've never been pulled over once. It's about the way you drive, it's about the way you present yourself on the road, and if you look like an asshole, then yes, you're gonna get pulled over, and you're gonna deserve it, so. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Alright, I'm gonna start heading home. It's actually a really beautiful night. I mean, like I said, I don't know how the lighting was. I know these cameras are supposed to work reasonably well in the dark. So we'll see that that kind of panned out. It could just end up being pitch black. And that'll be hilarious. It'll be awful and hilarious all at once. So, you know, we talked about a bunch of stuff tonight, whatever. If you guys have any thoughts or any, opinions, feel free to throw them down in the comment section below. As always, still making that push to 5K. It's going very slow. I lost like 27 subscribers the one day. I don't know why. The crazy thing is I see a lot of you guys resubbing all the time, so I don't know if you're getting unsubbed, because that's actually a really common problem with YouTube that people talk about, is losing subs for no reason. And then all of a sudden you're like, why did Tony not upload a video in 2 weeks? And then all of a sudden you realize, hey, I'm not subbed to him anymore. I can't say it's ever happened to me. Like, I've never had any of my subs disappear. Like, I've never all of a sudden been unsubscribed to Force or to Motor Trend or anything like that. So I don't know what the dealio is, but it was a lot of people, and it was more people lost than I gained that day. Like, all of a sudden just dropped. So we were at like 4,920, all of a sudden we're at 4,408, and I'm just like, 908, and I'm just like devastated. I'm like, no, 5K, it means nothing, but I want to reach it. This guy now. I usually will go to the next street just to avoid stopping like in the road, because I hate the idea of people being behind me. Like, that's like a really good, example of like preventing accident avoidance before you even think there's going to be an accident. Everyone always says, I'm not worried about myself, I'm worried about the other people. Okay, well, what can you do to make sure that you can somehow actually get an idea as to what the other people are going to do and things like that? Like, if there was someone coming up behind me and I saw them in my lane at night on a motorcycle, hell, in a car, I would have kept going so I could make a faster turn without having to stop, because that's when it happens. Somebody behind you on their cell phone, like everyone is these day and age, playing with their friggin' bullshit texting, and then they rear end you on a motorcycle and you're dead. So that kind of accident prevention is the level that you need to be at on a bike, and I take that to driving in a car. And with any luck, I will make it to the end of my life without ever being in an accident on the road. I'll see you guys somewhere in the sky. That's a good song, right?